Morning, 11th December 21. Utility versus inutility. The COVID is opening eyes of humans towards efficiency of governments. This is the tax side. And there must be a Robin Hood every now and then to really tell everybody that their wealth can be shared by all, especially those that need more. It's very important to realize with this virus how this mess of inutility governments. It was as simple as 14 billion vaccines, 2 per human, done. We get the third one, another 7 billion, done. All of us at the same time. But it is the proof that perhaps we can get a huge utility competitive advantage to show you how incompetent, inutile it is, these governments. There is possibility of having a lot of youngsters to cut emissions in this planet and to provide competitive dreams for new generations. But it is very clear that it is not possible with this government, like you have seen today and these last 20 months with the COVID. I hope it is very clear now what many of us did for 100 years, 125 years, continue to teach new generations. The only way you can open your eyes now is to like and subscribe. And perhaps you might take the opportunity of joining the maritime sector, either by embarking and having your certificates as an officer or even as starting with rating. They are not going to change the incompetent training systems. You see, they cannot unify these training systems. So we have transport 90% of goods by sea. That's not possible. If they cannot manage this virus, how can they manage the maritime education, the tax, the small and medium companies? 90% of employment is small and medium companies, Zs, millennials, training, unemployment. I mean, how can you? This is the good thing about this virus, is that at last you can see how incompetent inutility is. So then you can join utility. Where? In the maritime sector. We need lawyers to defend the fines that they are going to continue to put. Yes. You see, inutility costs so much that it's better they do nothing, because every time they do something, they cut every process in 5, and then in ministries, and then in 5, in 25, in 125. So the only thing we can do is to reduce 95% of that cost and of that bureaucracy. There is no other way out. They are not going to do nothing for new generations, nothing in any government. Some governments have 2 times more expense than income, so they get debt. That's illegal. You cannot spend more than you have earned revenue. And of course, it must be prohibited to inutility get debt. That's not legal. Or even talk about emissions, and the government of Spain has 60,000 cars. How many electric? I don't know, but it's better they don't drive, because if they do it, they are a cost. And they need a building, and they need a driver, administration, security, and all this. So it's better they do nothing. You see, every time they do something, it's like 25 measures of something. So then please join the maritime sector. Think about it, because we are going to remain here. And also in the shore side, we're looking for very intelligent people, motivated people that will beat inflation. The inutility side will get in its own metastasis because the inflation and the debt they are generating, they will be the first ones to pay. We cannot afford to pay pensions inflation adjusted or wages inflation adjusted, or you see, they have generated this metastasis. And the first ones to pay, it's going to be them. It's going to be a very slow inutility sink of the Titanic, because they are going to be losing 10% per year, 6% inflation. That's the figures they say. But those that print the money, they want the wages adjusted, like the Bank of Spain workers. Yes. Inflation is not our enemy, but please increase my wage, inflation adjusted. Then why you print money in the first place? Come on, why don't you sell those 50,000 buildings worth 300 billion and 1 trillion pieces of art stolen? And that's only in Spain. I mean, if you go around, then inutility will pay its price slowly. It will be very slow. And every year, if you go into these public governments payroll, your wage will be down 6, down 6, down 6, down 6, down 6. Of course, this is the figures you will say the inutility side, but that's not true, because food will go up 100, electricity will go up 100, and they will lie with those figures. Yes, because there's no way out but to realize about this with this inutility versus utility and think about it. That's join maritime sector, be intelligent, invest above inflation, like, subscribe, take care, nice weekend.